Okay, today we shall be starting with acids, bases and salts. First, let me explain you what is an acid. There is a general definition of acid that acids are chemical substances which release H plus ions in the aqueous solution. Aqueous means water. So first we have, on the basis of source of acids, how we classify the acids. So classification of acids is into two categories: organic acids and inorganic acids. Organic acids are the acids which are derived from plants. For example, citric acid, oxalic acid, tartaric acid. Then we have inorganic acids, which are the acids derived from minerals. For examples, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid. Then there can be hydra acids. Hydra acid is an acid which contains hydrogen and a non-metallic element. That means a hydra acid must have hydrogen and some non-metal, for example, HCl, HBr, HI. Then we have oxy acids. In an oxy acid, there must be a hydrogen, some other element except oxygen. Oxygen has to be there because it's an oxy acid, and the other element is usually a non-metal like nitrogen. Next, on the basis of strength of acids and bases, first is a strong acid. A strong acid is an acid which completely dissociates in aqueous solution. For example, HNO3 plus water gives you H3O plus NO3 minus. In H2SO4 plus 2 water, we would observe that 2 H3O plus ions are released together with sulfate ions. So hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid are the three known strong acids. On the right hand side, you would observe something written as strong alkali. First of all, let us clear what's an alkali. Alkali is a chemical substance which dissociates almost completely in an aqueous solution to give OH minus ions. OH minus ions are known as hydroxyl ions. So sodium hydroxide, NaOH, potassium hydroxide, KOH, when put in water, give you Na plus, K plus and OH minus ions. Lithium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are the three known strong alkalis. Next we have weak acid and a weak alkali. Weak acid is an acid which dissociates only partially in an aqueous solution. For example, acetic acid. Acetic acid dissociates partially to give H plus ions. So when acetic acid is put in water, we get ions like acetate ions. CH3COO minus 1 is acetate ion plus H plus. So you get ions, but since it does not dissociate completely, so some acetic acid molecules are also left behind. So acetic acid would have both molecules and ions. Similarly, in a weak alkali, for example, ammonium hydroxide. So ammonium hydroxide is a very weak alkali. It dissociates not completely in aqueous solution. So it forms two types of ions, ammonium ions and OH minus ions. So ammonium ions and OH minus ions are basically the ions formed, but since it does not dissociate completely, so some ammonium hydroxide molecules are also left behind. So two examples of weak alkali are ammonium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. And examples of weak acids are acetic acid, citric acid, carbonic acid. Acetic acid is vinegar, जो Chinese food में आपको पता है. Citric acid is usually found in citrus fruits. Carbonic acid is in aerated drinks like Thumbs Up, Coke, Limca, all have carbonic acid. Formic acid is by and large found in some organic vegetables and fruits but it is not that famous as the other acids are. Next is, on the basis of concentration of acids and bases, we can classify an acid into a concentrated acid or a dilute acid. Concentrated acid is an acid which has high percentage of acid in aqueous solution. For example, 60% acid and 40% water, or 80% acid and 20% water. Dilute acid is an acid which has very less percentage of acid in it. For example, 10% acid solution. That means 10% acid and 90% water. Similarly, we have concentrated alkali and a dilute alkali. Concentrated alkali is an alkali which has relatively high percentage of alkali, like 90% potassium hydroxide solution. So 90% is potassium hydroxide and 10% is water. Dilute alkali, a dilute alkali has, for example, 20% NaOH solution. So 20% just NaOH and 80% water. That makes a dilute solution. My last topic for today is the concept of basicity and acidity. What is basicity of an acid? Basicity of an acid is the number of hydrogen ions which can be produced per molecule of an acid. Please go through the examples. First is HCl. Kindly see, on the left side it is written HCl plus water gives H3O plus Cl minus. So HCl is said to be a monobasic acid because it has only one H plus ion. Other examples are given like HCl, HNO3 and acetic acid. In HCl there is one H, in HNO3 again there is one H. In acetic acid there are 4 hydrogens, but actually only one hydrogen can be replaced, and that is the last hydrogen. So CH3COOH would break to give CH3COO minus plus H plus. On the right hand side, it's a monoacidic base. It ionizes in aqueous solution to produce only one hydroxyl ion. For example, NaOH gives only one OH minus ion. So guys, it's always basicity of an acid and acidity of a base. Basicity of an acid means how many H plus an acid can produce in an aqueous solution, and acidity of a base means how many OH minus ions can be produced by a base in an aqueous solution. Similarly, we have a diacidic base and a dibasic acid and a diacidic base. Dibasic acid is an acid which produces 2 H plus ions in aqueous solution. For example, H2SO4. Kindly go through the equations. They are very simple. Please go through them properly. In one shot, you will be able to understand. H2SO4 first combines with water to give you H3O plus HSO4 minus. HSO4 minus is known as hydrogen sulfate ion or bisulfate ion. Next step, HSO4 minus 1 again in the presence of water would give you H3O plus SO4 2 minus. So H2SO4 combines with 2 molecules of water to give 2H3O plus SO4 2 minus. Similarly, if you can see the two equations, H2SO4 can combine with NaOH to give you 2 types of salt. First is NaHSO4 plus water. Second is Na2SO4 plus 2 water. So be careful here. In the first equation, only one H of H2SO4 has been replaced. In the second equation, both the H has been replaced. This means H2SO4 can afford 2 H plus ions. So H2SO3 known as sulfurous acid, H2SO4 known as sulfuric acid, and H2CO3 known as carbonic acid are the examples of dibasic acids. In diacidic bases, we have calcium hydroxide and copper hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide in aqueous solution gives calcium ions plus 2 OH minus ions. Copper hydroxide in aqueous solution gives copper 2 plus ions plus 2 OH minus ions. So this is an example of a diacidic base because it can afford 2 OH minus ions. So calcium hydroxide, zinc hydroxide and copper hydroxide are diacidic bases because they can give 2 OH minus ions. Last is tribasic acid, triacidic base. So by now I'm sure my students are very smart to understand that tribasic acid is an acid which will give you 3 hydrogen ions per molecule of an acid. That means it has 3 replaceable hydrogen ions. But a triacidic base is a base which has 3 hydroxyl ions per molecule. So tribasic acid can be represented by H3PO4, that is phosphoric acid. However, a triacidic base can be given by ALOH thrice, FeOH thrice. So H3PO4 can dissociate in 3 steps to give you H2PO4 1 minus, HPO4 2 minus and finally PO4 3 minus. Now here is what I wish my students to be very smart. See, in the first equation the charge is 1 minus because 1 H plus has been removed. In the second step the product is HPO4 2 minus. Here the charge is 2 minus because 2 H plus ions have been missing now. In PO4 3 minus the charge is 3 minus because 3 H plus ions have been removed from H3PO4. So since it has given total 3 H3O plus ions, hence it is said to be a tribasic acid. Once again to repeat, H3O plus is known as hydronium ion. It is a combination of H plus with water. So acids give H plus which further react with water to give H3O plus. Bases or alkalis give OH minus ions which are basically known as hydroxyl ions. My concluding sentence is all bases are alkalis